You can go live if you want. Let's paint. Boom! Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rolling Thunder, the Battle of Kashyyyk. We're going to cut. Can we take it from the top? No, that's not how this is. We're live. We're live! Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Rolling Thunder Battle of Kashyyyk. We're going to be painting up one of the vehicles coming from the new wave for Legion, Star Wars Legion miniatures game. I have the Clone ISP, and I've got a few airbrush colors on there, and I'm just going to go repainting it and maybe talking about adding some of these wonderful little blaster options, these weapon options to the front, and choosing which one, and we'll stick them on there and see what they look like, and go from there. Really, we're just painting some stuff and talking about fun stuff. That's it. On day 2, what? Are we going down to the minicam? Is that,
would you like to go down?
To the minicam? Kick it to the minicam. I know we just got done with another stream earlier. I just watched some of my coworkers participate in. That was really awesome. We got our paints out on the palette, and we're gonna paint this up. So I'm painting white, and I know white is a tricky color for many people, and it's one of those colors that you kind of got to learn and develop. One of my biggest suggestions is don't start with pure white. This is a base coat of an off-white, just a beautiful little off-white. I mixed some blues, a touch of gray, and a tiny bit of pink into a bunch of white, and I airbrushed it on. Of course, you can brush it on as well with a normal hand brush. It doesn't matter. Then I took a warm gray and I airbrushed. Once again, you can just brush that on. I used an airbrush. I own an airbrush, so I like using the tools I got. So now I'm just going to start brush work, and I'm just going to go down to a darker gray. So the big thing I tell people is painting white is primarily about the, this is not a good blender brush. I need a good blender brush. I'm going to grab a good blender brush. I think Kashyyyk stole mine earlier because I'm missing my good blender. This one will do. But the trick of painting white is to not go pure white and to create that off-white and then develop good shadow and then leave pure white for just the highlight and then mix some colors into it. So the actual color white is the reflection of all colors back into the human eye. That's what we perceive as white. So when you're painting miniatures or doing any sort of art, you can replicate that effect by putting some colors into what you want to be white, and it makes it more dynamic and lively. I like using the word lively. And real. Makes it feel real. And we're going to go over all this as we take our steps into this miniature. But first I need those dark tones. Maybe do these floor panels as like a wash to get them down in the crevices. We'll be putting some blues and browns into this. Outlander Denton says, be good to probably paint in sub-assemblies. A lot of vehicles can benefit from painting in sub-assembly. I think this definitely is potential for one such project. I'm also of the very firm camp of if my brush can't reach it, you can't see it. This also has some pilots, so I'm not going to care too much about some areas. I'm going to care very much less about some areas than other areas. Like anywhere there's a pilot that's going to block the view, I'm not going to worry about it. We're just going to take this gray. I'm just going to choose a few places here and there to darken. A lot of nooks and crannies, yep. A lot of nooks and crannies. I'm going to keep that way off that surface. Just a nice gray gradient down there. You don't have to do grays. You can do blues. There's lots of different ways to get a white vehicle armor. If you look at white cars, you can actually see a lot of variation in ways. Cars make great reference photos or just references for painting vehicles. Looking at the way colors react on the surface of a car. The first time I noticed there was a car in a parking lot, and I was walking to lunch, and the car was yellow, and there was this just gorgeous teal color in the shadow, and I was just like, holy moly, like what a beautiful teal color in that yellow. And I never had thought about using teals as a shade to yellow. So immediately that night I went home, I tested it out, and it didn't quite work for me the first time, but the philosophy was there. And I tried it again and a few more times and was able to get it, and it worked really, really well. I don't think it's for every project. It's not something I'd do on every project, but it became a nice trick and an option, basically just a tool to add to the arsenal of using teal as a shade to yellow. I know you can't see this side. We're just using that second brush to kind of blend out our shadow. I'm going to go pretty quick. I want to finish this up. I say it at every stream, don't I? I want to finish this up. We might not be able to finish. We can try though. So the big thing is, this is going to be painted up for my lucky 13s. If you remember, if you joined us in May, we did a roster build challenge, and I painted up a 500 point clone force that I named the Lucky 13s. So this will be painted up in their colors of white, which is unique to my clones. Using this off-white and gray and black. And wow, I totally wasn't paying attention. I was painting and chatting. What's going on here? What's going on in chat? What size base is it? It's the same size. We just discussed this. Kevin, what size is this? This is the
Snowspeeder's base.
Snow speeder base, yes. We just went over it. Why the glove on your offhand? The glove to keep the oils off the paint job. The oils from my skin off the paint job. I don't have anything to hold the miniature currently, so it just reduces the amount of oils I get on my paint job, which helps the paint job stay fresh and clean. Just like that. So we gotta decide where to put the black. What else we got? What weapon configuration? Well, that's a good question. I got the dual lasers. I got the missile pods. And I got the little sonic blasters. I haven't really decided. I'm a little partial to the missile pods. If you watched the Legion chat yesterday, Preston went over how it was kind of the wait, was that yesterday he went over that? Wow. Am I right about that? He did go over the missile pods, didn't he? That might be an upcoming stream. I might be getting my streams confused. I'm in trouble now. I'm a little partial to the missile pods, but maybe the twin laser? Don't know. Maybe we'll take vote in chat. Let's do some black. On the seats. Let's do this as a wash. Just adding a little bit of water to black paint lets it seep into all the little nooks and crannies. I don't know, chat, which weapon option do you think I should take? This side. Can we see the connection point for the weapon? Yeah, it's like a little concave socket, and then it's a little ball. So you can kind of position, put them in place. I'm not much of a magnetizer. I'm more of I like building a configuration and kind of sticking with it. And if I want a new one, I'll do another one. I like having builds for roles. Kind of old school like that. Because then what if I want to take both? The bass boosters, bro. Yeah, those little subwoofer guns. We're going to call them subwoofer guns for today. Those are pretty dope looking.
Subwoofer blasters.
Subwoofer blasters. Subwoofer blasters. They sound like one word if you say it right. Subwoofer blasters. Like Waffenflammen. What was the German for flamethrower? I always get mixed up. Flammuffen. that black. I'm going to do the internal part of this glow. Because like even though it's a turbine fan, I still like glow on my science fiction. This is player choice. So I'm going to lean into my player choice. I'll do a little cleanup on that later. Whoa, I really messed that one up. We'll clean that up later. Don't tell Kevin I messed up. I was thinking about making these black, but I kind of like this bright white area there in the front. I think it makes it look unique. Oh yeah. If you let the Wookiee ride in here, you'd have Wookiee fur everywhere. It'd be a mess. Or if you're riding in an open top vehicle behind this and the Wookiee fur's being pulled through the fan and blown out the back. It just sounds like a lot to me. I think that would stress me out a lot. So always let the Wookiee win and never ride behind the Wookiee. These are what I've learned in life. Is my head in the way? So I'm just picking out areas I want to be black. Just to kind of divide the elements up. To personalize my ISP. Because that's kind of the fun that miniature games brings to you, is that ability to personalize and make things uniquely yours. I know it's kind of like one of the first things that drew me into miniature games. Being young and very into art and stuff like that, like seeing a miniature game where basically I'm being told I get to take a toy, quote, quote, not a toy, but I get to take, a cool miniature and paint it the way I want it and then play a game with it. Like, I was baffled and kind of dumbfounded and just immediately like hooked. Just the personal expression that you get to do in a miniature game was just so neat and freeing. And then you get to play a game with it. Like that's the part that really got me, was like, so not only do I get to do these cool little bits of arts, I get to then take them to my friend's house and play a game and tell like a little story with them. Like, this is the best thing ever for me. Oh, and you're telling me there's a Star Wars one? Oh, man. Turbine is just too cool to, yeah. I'm gonna put the glow back here. This is gonna be super fly. I think there needs to be more areas of black. These little struts. Kevin, you've seen my TX130. You got any suggestions for black areas on this ISP?
I think I'm pretty happy with your amount of black areas.
I need more.
See your iconography.
How about that splatter? That's the best. See, those are the kind of mistakes that I love. Did you catch that? Do you see it? I flicked my brush and got a little black paint splatter, and I love it. That's what gives it life now. It does need a skull, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
These little rails on the bottom. I want this all to be black. All right, what kind of question? Are you placing the washes on white to reflect light location or more artistically to modulate panels and provide interest? To reflect light location or more art. It's more artistically, and I'm not using like a modulation technique where you go light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. I'm expressing the entire surface as one element, and going about the light application like that. So instead of going light to dark and this panel light to dark, I'm just treating it all as one panel. So not thinking about the actual panel lines and dividing those up. You see that quite a bit in miniature vehicle painting, and it's very visually interesting. It's just not the way I approach it. I like thinking about the surface as one entire continuous surface, and then applying the paint in such a way to reflect that. And then what I'm going to do, I really want to do more black, but I want to go to this next step on the white real quick. That really brings the artistic modulation and white to life. So we're just going to get this arm painted real quick. Black, bloop. These little things, there's some little nubbins. I know I'm off screen. I kind of want this floor to be black because I think that will really lift it up. You see what I'm saying? If this entire floor is black, it pushes that down, lifts the rest of it up. Feeling it. Anyways, we're going to do this part. So we did 2-tone on the shadow. Now next thing I do is I take a light blue. See, it's a very desaturated light blue. And I'm thinking about the light coming at this and all the light reflecting back. So I can take this light blue and apply it and give it a slight blend out. Then maybe right here. And I'm just going to spot in these areas of blue. Now the eye will just barely pick this up depending on where I place it. But what it's going to do is going to add that life to that gray, dead tone. Especially if you go down here in the shadows. And I don't need these to be perfect. You can do like little spots and streak it.
Go bit by.
Which way? How's that?
Good.
There we go. A good mix of characters. Are you talking about the Atomic Mass characters? I feel like they are. We are quite the cast of characters, as Kevin's learned. Just a marvelous group of characters. I was going to say something else and then I kind of decided not to. Who knows what I was going to say. You can do little streaks of this blue. I don't like that one. Use my brush to kind of streak it out. I don't want this perfectly blended. I'm not trying to perfectly blend it. I'm not trying to make this all competition level. I don't like that. Clean it up. Second brush is good for cleaning up. Just a good, clean, damp second brush. You can clean up any mistakes. Like let's say you really don't want blue paint there, and you do. You just take a damp brush and you quickly wipe it away. No big deal. NBD, as the kids say. Let's do a couple little dots here and there. You can even put them in the shadows. Like so. This just gives it like some personality in life. Just some visual interest to catch the eye. It's very, what's the word, Kevin? Not illustrative. How would you define this? That needs more shadow. That's what I would define. Dawson needs to tighten up these lines. These look like garbage. I think I've said it several times over the past day of painting miniatures is the fine art of correcting one's mistakes. So it's okay to make little mistakes like that. Little dots and dings and scratches and scritches. Nothing better than a good little sub highlight and a shadow. Madman Scream. I'd almost be inclined to do a dark color that wasn't black to let you work. I typically don't work in pure blacks. I like to work in chromatic blacks. And a chromatic black is just black with color added. So I usually add a lot of colors into the black, not just go straight pure black. That's why I did a wash, because that creates a gray over all these interesting tones I already have. Oh, excuse me, boy. It's been a long day. We had pho. Now we make it look white by going in pure white and highlighting. I'm all over the place. Would you say the cup scores are the scale for the cup? I think those are control handles for the clones. That's where their little control sticks mounted. But I do like that. I can't not see them as cup holders now. I'd like a venti blue milk, please. I'm using that white just to edge highlight stuff. And we can do the same thing. We can do like some little dots and scritches. We can make another mistake. It's late in the day. Done a lot of painting today. Go ahead and angle side of the brush. Go ahead and angle side of the brush. And I like that blend, so I kind of, or that line, so I kind of blended it out to fake it away. Those handles will be black. I like James Russell says, I want to get Kashyyyk into a Senate booth and put Yoda and Palpatine on it. That's great. All right, some little dings and scratches in the dark areas. Just playing with those lights. This is what makes it come alive. This is also what makes it feel like it's actually painted white. Like I said, it's all about the highlight when you're painting white. Having that nice off-white mid-tone, making a really terrible paint line right there. Blend it out, tighten it up, try it again. My precision's off. There we go. Now I don't edge highlight around an entire element. A lot of old school painters, that might be the way they were taught and learned. You kind of take the edge highlight all around the entire element. It's not the way I go about it. I'm more of the top element or the top of the line edges are in one side, and then a different color on the bottom for like a bounce light if you're really into stuff. Getting artsy. I really want this light to be kind of all over the place here. How's that looking in the camera?
Let's see if
What color? Let's do some blue, black, water, black. Yeah, that's going to be... Well, I got a little focus there. Sorry, kids. Can you see it? That's that chromatic black. So I just mixed some blue into the black, made a wash. Going over top of those gray tones helps desaturate it a little bit. And that sets it down, lifts that white back up into the eye better. That looks pretty good to me. Like I said, if my brush can't reach it, you can't see it. Plus there's going to be some clone pilots. I'm not super worried about it in there. Just a nice wash. Maybe throw some on the foot pads. I did not mix up enough. And if I make any mistakes, I'll clean them up as we progress through the project. Let's go in there like that. That's good enough. Why am I whispering? That just means I'm concentrating. I'll slide right between all that. Give the brush a little spin. Give the brush a little spin. That's good enough for the floorboards. I feel like there needs to be some loose change down there or something rolling about. What album plays over the front speakers? See, everybody keeps calling these speakers, and now I kind of want to just put these on. They look like eyes. These colors just scream Star Wars. Thanks. That's my goal. I like playing in these colors, these kind of off-whites, that ceramic feel, and then making them kind of grungy, gritty. That's just always feels so awesome to me. Really gives it life and personality. All right, we're just gonna make a wash of our dark gray, and this whole inside since it's dark in there, I'm just going to wash that in. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be accurate. It just needs to look cool. Let's do some dark gray back here. And we won't highlight these areas. I'm just going to wash them, let the wash settle, let the wash do what it do, and that's going to create enough contrast for me. These floorboards. I want these the same color as the other ones. We're not going to finish this as an hour. But if you go away at least feeling like you got a little bit better understanding of white and how to approach it on your clone or stormtrooper force, then my work here is done. I done do what I need to did. It's missing skulls. Long 3 days, but appreciate the work y'all doing. Excited to see AMG's flair coming into these games. We're excited to be bringing us the flair of the AMGs. Very passionate group of individuals. And I think that joining into these streams, even the weekly streams, and especially these Ministravaganzas, where we kind of open up we pull back the curtain a little bit more. You get to meet more of the team behind all your favorite games. Shows the passion and commitment that we have to be stewards of the games and just make great, fun miniatures and games for everybody to enjoy. Because that's what it's all about. We want everybody to have something really fun and beautiful to play with and build and paint and show their friends and be excited about, because we're just as excited as you are. All right, so, oh my gosh, I only got a few minutes, don't I? How long do I got?
About
35 minutes? This is so long. What did I do? If I get things too pastel, do I just glaze over it to help? Yeah, glazes are great. Glazes are great. You can use inks to create a glaze, and they give a high saturation and punch, and then those create really good ways to tone down any sort of pastel effect that you might accidentally get. So let's put our skulls on here, because this is the Lucky 13s. I think artistically right here in a line, going down. I think that's what I want. So let's do a little skull. Can you even see that? Oh man, that's big. First one's a little big. Can you see this? Let me turn it just a little bit. Oh yeah, definitely use sealer once I'm done. Those are a little messed up. Let's grab a little blue, grab a little white. I need music. I'm not allowed to have music, but I need it. This guy's noggin got huge. I'm gonna do a little bit on each one to slowly work my way into what I want. I'm not trying to rush and do it all at once. I'm already kind of rushing on stream, so I need to slow down, be patient. What do I jam to when I'm painting? You ever seen that meme of two people sitting on a park bench? And it's like a kind of a gothy fellow with eye makeup and black leather. And then there's like a young lady sitting next to him wearing like a sundress, and they're both eating ice cream. And then above the guy it says my musical taste, and above the young lady it says also my musical taste. Are you familiar with that? That's me. But usually something pretty aggressive. That one's kind of messed up. What are you painting? I can't tell. Is that a philosophical question? Like, are we talking about the miniature or the freehand? Can you not tell what my freehanding is? That's bad. Look, the lucky 13s aren't the best at skulls, okay? What can I say? Thinking about basing. Wait, where are we at? Thinking about basing. Any ideas how you might do show stuff being displaced by the downdraft? Yeah, that's a good idea. You can totally take some putty and create like a little crater on your base, and then use, you know, your typical base materials like pumice or ballast, and just go ahead and create the dirt effect around it, blowing up. Close enough. Oh, any other gamer? This is the ISP, the upcoming vehicle for clones. So we got the lucky 13 symbol and a couple kill marks. All right, let's keep working on our miniature. Now that we're done with that tomfoolery. Now is where I'm just going to start refining and defining. I've got all my elements in place. Now I can just start tightening up any line. Throwing a couple washes down here again on these control panels. These little panels never got any sort of color on them. Now we want to take some pure black. Kind of cut the edges there to frame it. And just define those edges just ever so slightly. Just define those edges. You can also take and do sort of the same thing here. Use that wash color, add some white to it. We're just going to use like little dots and lines. To kind of watercolory in there. Some of the highlight. I'm going to cut back into here with some of that same black. Like I said, this is the step where you just kind of define, refine. I'm going to hold this in a weird way. Hopefully you can still see it. Yeah. Oh, I got quiet. Whoa, sorry. I believe, if I remember correctly, this is a support. Kevin, do you know?
I was reading
I don't have any cards in front of me. I would love to see some big stuff in Legion. I love vehicles. I think old school miniature gamers would call me a treadhead. It's like, if you're gonna let me take all tanks, I will totally tank all tanks. You better believe it. Oh, we needed some shadow on that one spot, didn't we? On these little wingtips. Just to define those a little bit better. I feel like somebody keeps getting ready to walk in there. Let's grab this one and this one. A slight touch of black. A little bit of water. Well, they're just busting in now. Not even knocking or saying please. What are you looking for, Kashyyyk?
That bag of paints.
A bag? Oh, the bag of paints? It's in by my desk.
Well,
I know.
Did this whole thing for nothing.
Was it for nothing?
I don't know. Let's see what you're working on. How's it going?
I'm pretty happy with it. My skull's got a little LARPy sided, but
Well, clones aren't artists.
that's
fine.
That's what I told the stream, and they yelled at me.
It just makes it more It just makes it more like authentic.
And also, look at his judgy face over there. Like,
Kevin's always got a judge.
Kevin's
face.
like-
It's that hawkish nose. His handsomely chiseled features.
he's chiseled.
Yeah.
He's also got like
He kind of looks like
a perfect hairline
the
that I'm
person
mad at.
Yeah, it's the person you love to hate in every rom-com.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you get it. You see it. You see it.
I was painting the skulls, and like I just felt him going like, "Man, I'm pretty sure you can do better." But he didn't say it. He was just like, "I'm pretty sure you can do better." I'm like, "Not tonight, I can't."
Yeah. That makes sense.
And we're back. Welcome to Atomic Mass Games. This is what's like every day, by the way. Like, you know, we're just gonna have a moment. This is what it's like every day. You're just like working along. You got an idea, like being creative, and all of a sudden somebody comes in and is just like, you know what? And you're like, man, you're right. Look, everybody's like telling Kashyyyk not to yell at people. It's not going to stop him, stream. It's not going to stop him. Where were we at? I mean, we're paying the ISP. The infantry support vehicle. Oh, platform. So I'm just taking all the ideas that we've been doing and I'm just reapplying them. Like I said, we're just redefining and defining. Tightening up what we like, what we don't like. Let's tone that down just a little bit. A little brighter than that. We're just gonna put a couple of like wishy-washy. I call them wishy-washy. That's not a correct definition. I guess like wishy-washy means indecisive. And these highlights are definitely kind of indecisive. I'm just kind of poking them in there and letting them do whatever they want to do. Yeah. Honestly, I can do this part all day. Let's do a little chipping on the front.
And I just want to set the record straight. I wasn't yelling at anybody, chat, okay?
That's not how they heard it. Look, they're all just like, yep. They're all, yep. What do we call this? Stark Samurai wants to know what we call this vehicle informally. Like informally. I've been
Either
calling
the
it.
Swamp Speed or the ISP.
I've been calling it the Swamp Buggy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Either one of those.
Swamp Buggy. Whoo, way out alligator. He is so loud. That's true. Me and Kevin are the calm ones. I really don't like that one highlight in there. It's just too bright. Tone it down. That's better. Exactly. JM Val Legion. I'm not yelling as he yells. That's exactly right. I need a drink of delicious ice cold refreshing water. Although today was the worst day. I forgot my atomic mass mug at home. I put in the sink last night after the first day of Ministravaganza. Went home, washed out my mug, threw it in the drainer. This morning, day 2, right? Get up a little late. I mean, admittedly, it was a little late. And I was like, gotta go, because I had first stream this morning, right? So first stream, 9 o'clock. Now, fun fact, Atomic Mass Games, our typical hours, we typically start work at 7 a.m. Many of us do, not everybody, but me, Kashyyyk, and many of the people that work directly with us start at 7 a.m. or right around it. And I was like, okay, first stream, 9 o'clock, no big deal. NBD, right? Totally got up a little bit late. Great, that's no big deal. And walked out without my mug. The story's going nowhere. And the payoff is not that good because I'm going to complain about how I forgot my mug. And what that means is I had to drink water all day without lemon in it. That's my story. Because I typically drink water with lemon in it all day. I didn't have lemons. Ugh, just the worst. I can only blame myself. Aren't you glad you stayed for that story? It's 7 o'clock on a Friday. This is the kind of high adventure. I mean, after that Kashyyyk encounter, and those are what that's called. Sometimes you need a soothing story. All right, where are we at? I'm going to do some Zaragoza. I've been doing highlights with Pure White. When life doesn't give you lemons, drink straight water. I love it. I've been using Pure White to do the highlights. You can see here along the edge. I'm doing some more right now. And do like little dots and some little zoop lines and whatnot. That's what gives it personality and zazz. You gotta give it the zazz. All right, let's see if we can clean up this mess I made up here on this top. Is my head in the way? Am I good? I can't see. I got my head down. Just want to clean up that. That might take 2 coats, and that's okay. This is the last stream of the day. Coming up at 7, we have hangout time. Hopefully, if you can, you'll join in and watch that. Because that's just going to be a bunch of us hanging out and painting some stuff up, catching up on our own hobby projects and stuff. That's when we really let loose and have a good time. Who knows what we'll talk about. We're kind of off the clock at that point, so. Not a fun part. Painting in these dark lines in between the armor panels. Just let the brush do the work. The brush wants to do a good job for you, so let it. Don't push. No pressure. Just let the paint flow. Gently drag it. Through the line. And we'll do this one. This is the V1 I messed up because I did not mess up the other one, so I'll mess this one up. And we all know what I'm talking about. It happens every time. You paint the left eye, and lo and behold, you kind of boff the right. I feel the paint getting too dry. Yeah, there we go. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Great stream so far. Curry Cage first. Great stream so far. I hope everyone is having a good of a time as me. Looking at an updated affiliation list. Doesn't Convocation have a leadership ability? Convocation has 2. We previewed them. And just dark line. Just dark line. See, this is the cleanup part. This is the part where you start defining everything. I sort of slopped the paint on in that first segment. And then you just kind of redefine everything and it all comes together. You know what I love the most? When a plan comes together. And then on the back side of this, I can go a little darker. So I won't be able to finish tonight, but I feel like I got pretty far. Oh, there's too much water. It's a giant drop of water on that into that brush. I feel like I got pretty far. I feel pretty good about where I'm at on this. I know I'm typically the guy that paints things in an hour, but a lot of times vehicles take a little bit longer. That's okay. So I'm just going to keep redefining, find the last step I want to show as I take a little bit of brown. This is a very warm brown. I'm just going to go right here on the front of this, like guard, this shield. And I'm going to add a little warm staining. Kind of shows some dirt or mud. The other thing this allows is with such a cool, temperature cool paint job. I mean, I think it's cool, like cool. Bringing a little warmth goes a long way. And that's what this will provide, right? It's all about contrast, and there's different types of contrast. There's hot, cold, which is what we're dealing with now. There's light to dark, which is kind of the typical, you think, black to white, that's contrast. There's also textural contrast, value contrast, that's light to dark. Temperature contrast. What was the one I missed? I missed one. I don't remember which one it was. But this provides some temperature contrast to go along with the value contrast. I love this part, like especially if you take a little tiny dot and then take a second clean brush and dab the middle out, you get this nice little like bathtub ring that you typically don't want in miniatures, but it looks really good. It looks really, really good as a stain. Now, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You just give me a time number. Oh my gosh, 3 minutes? Wow. Better get your last questions in. We're going to wrap it up. I didn't get my ISP done, but I got pretty far, and I'm really happy with what I got done. It's like messy. It's not going to win an award. It's sort of wishy-washy artistic. You know what? I'm always a driver. I drink with my right hand. This poor guy spilled his coffee in his cup holder before. That's for you, chat. That's for you. I'm not going to put any dust up here, up by the turbine. That's not really where mud and muck would go. Definitely on the floorboards, though. Definitely here where Steve always drags his feet over top of the side, and it always makes a mess. And I'm always like, dude, kick the dirt off first, man. But Steve is bad at listening. Steve's side's way dirtier. He's the worst clone. Popcorn on the floorboards. What Star Wars movie that you painted are you most proud of? Oh, I don't know. Maybe my Darth Vader. Pretty proud of my Darth Vader. All right, we're closing up shop, kids. Stay tuned. We're going to come back very, very shortly. What? Oh, I'm still painting, though. I'm just going to keep painting. Y'all can look at the top of my noggin. We're going to be back very, very shortly for the hangout, the hobby hangout. It'll be me, Will Schick, Simone Elliott, and a lot of special guests. We're going to be painting up some of our miniature hobby projects that we're working on and sharing them with you. So hopefully you join back in at that at 7 o'clock. 5 minutes. Let's go. See you soon. Bye, y'all.